Hi, and welcome to Knitting Downsized. My name is Katie, and this is a podcast about knitting, about life in a camper as a family of 4 with a little doggy, and about our family and some of the adventures that we get into. Thanks for stopping by today. Definitely check us out on Instagram at Knitting Downsized. I try to post there once or twice a week, sometimes never a week. About my projects, things that I'm working on, and some of the things that we do as a family here in the camper. So today is Friday. It has been another really crazy week. Y'all, 2023 can go ahead and stuff it. And it's only January. So we were sick for Christmas. We had a great week for New Year's. The following week we got sick again with stomach flu. Last week we were okay, and then this week, Tuesday, Clay came down with flu B. So I think we've had flu A already this season. So he was diagnosed with flu B and was super sick for about 2 days with a fever and a pretty bad cough. We thought Fiona was going to get it too, but she ended up not getting it, thankfully, or so far has not caught it. That's one thing, living in a camper, it's very hard to quarantine. There's just absolutely no way in 400 square feet that you can keep, especially with the kids. They like to wrestle and everything, so it's really hard to keep them off of each other and everything. So she hasn't got sick yet. I'm really hoping, even though our doctor was like, you're probably not going to get lucky, and she's probably going to get sick. So I was like, thanks, doc. Appreciate that. So that was our week. So it was pretty crazy. There was a couple days there because I work nights and the kids were out of school because if Clay's sick or Fiona's sick, vice versa, I don't send the other to school because I just don't think that's fair. I don't want to be that parent that like infects a whole classroom of students just because I wanted to send one kid to school. Luckily, I do work at night, so I'm able to stay home with them. But it was just difficult because there was a couple days, I think I got two 2-hour naps for 2 days. So, and that was all the sleep that I had. So there was lots of Full Throttle. I'm not sponsored. I feel like I might own stock in them by now. But yes, it's been kind of a crazy week. I got a lot of knitting done though, so I'm really super excited about that. I have a couple FOs to show you, and then I have a languishing whip that I've been working on that I'm finally to a really good point on. So I'm excited to be here today. It's Friday. Super stoked about Friday and in the weekend. So first of all, this is my Sapilla by Caitlin Hunter. This is a Caitlin Hunter episode. Hint, hint. This is my Sapilla. Now, usually that pattern is long sleeves and it is fingering weight. So I used a heavy sport weight for both of these. So mustard, once again. If I can include mustard in something, I'm going to. So I did it, because I did it in a sport weight, I could only get... I didn't want it to be like the armpits, to be way down here by the time I got done with the color work, the full length of color work. So I stopped, I believe, about 3/4 of the way through, but I really like how it turned out with the colors and everything. And I believe I used a sport weight. Sorry, the color is going in and out there. But I liked this pattern. I thought it was great. I am not a big fan of fingering weight sweaters. I know they would be really great to wear here in North Carolina in the South, but I just tend to gravitate to heavier weights of yarn. So, sorry, Maggie is pacing. So I really like this pattern. It is short sleeve. I don't remember the brands of yarn that I used. I think this mustard might be Fiber Seed. Maybe. And I think this turquoise was from, it's kind of a, I don't know if you can tell. It's like a, there we go. It's like a turquoisey, almost black. I really, really dig it. it was one of those big, like 600-yard skeins or something, or 200-gram skeins. It was a huge skein, and so it made this whole sweater, and I had enough, I think, to do a hat in it as well. I actually think I might have some more still, but I stopped at short sleeves. So I really like this sweater. The one thing that I am disappointed about, I don't know if it's how I picked up the sleeve, the underarm stitches, or maybe I picked it somehow on the underarm of my bra or something. I don't know, but both armpits have holes. So there's that one. And this is just to be transparent. Like, I'm still going to wear it because I really like it. I'm just not going to raise my arms. This is the other one. So it completely busted out the armpit of the sweater. So you can see the end. I think what I'm going to do with both armpits, I've been looking at, I think I'm going to do red hearts and then felt them to the armpit. I think that's what I'm going to do. And then maybe like sew around where it's all the stitches have pulled and have picked or whatever on both of them, and felt the arm like a heart in the armpits. I think that'd be really cute in like bright red. So, because I really want to keep wearing the sweater. I like it, and it's a really good weight for spring. Now the colors aren't very good for spring, but it's a really good weight for spring, and I really like it. And it actually, I don't know, have you guys noticed that sometimes colorwork sweaters that are like this, that have this kind of almost like ruffle here, to me sometimes they look like the Peter Pan collar, or like, do you guys remember like Bozo the Clown? You know how like he had like this collar, or like the clown collar. Sometimes I feel like those sweater designs look like that, and so it keeps me from buying them. I love this one though because it's small, but sometimes they're real, big and loopy, and it just, maybe it's just me, but it feels like, like when you're wearing it, that you're wearing like a clown thing. I don't know. That's just my opinion, but I really like this sweater. I definitely recommend it. I think I went down 2 sizes, but like I said, the Sapilla, I believe, has a really generous, it's not raglan, it's circle yoke. So the yoke is pretty deep. So I stopped early because I didn't want it to be so deep that, when you wear it, like raise your arms, it raises the whole sweater. I didn't want that to happen. I also did it, I don't know if you can tell, I did a cropped. So it's kind of right at my pant line there too. So like this sweater, great pattern. It's Caitlin Hunter. She makes amazing patterns. I absolutely love her. She's Boylan Knitworks on Instagram, if you guys, I'm sure you guys know about her. But if you don't, check her out. Awesome patterns. She has a halibut sweater, which I think is gorgeous, number one. I don't think I would ever wear a fish sweater, but I think it's amazing. She just made halibut mittens. I would totally wear those, 100%. I think she has such a cool eye for color work, I think. So that's what I'm wearing. So I finished 2 projects this week. I had some time, we were doing some training at work, and I think I've told you guys before that my brain doesn't work like super well on Zoom calls. So, and I don't really like to doodle or anything like that. So I just kind of find a simple project and I just knit in the round while I'm on Zoom calls and training, and it just helps me to concentrate. So I started a flax out of Cascade 220, the worsted, and I finished it. So I hardly ever do those sleeve bumps just because I'm usually, like I said, I'm usually doing this as an easy project, an easy on the go project, and I don't want to have to think. So I'm just trying to do something that's round and round and round instead of doing a hat. So this is the 6 to 12 month size, and I think I did it a little bit longer. For my kiddos, they were both like really long waisted, and I think if you make a sweater a little bit longer, for babies, it can start out as like a tunic, and then through that winter season or that cold season, it can kind of grow with them a little bit. So I usually do the sleeves long too, so at least they can like fold the ribbing hem up, and you know, there's that can grow too for that particular season. So it's just a pretty like sage green that I had some leftover from my sweater projects for Christmas. So it was a really good use of it. Like I said last time, I'm trying to make some kind of gender neutral projects. I haven't found out what our friend is having, so, or what their theme is. So I'm just kind of doing gender neutral colors that I like, and that I have plenty of yarn for. So there's that. I finished my Queen of Hearts hat. I think it's Queen of Hearts hat. You'll have to check last episode for info on it, but I finished it. Hopefully you can see the little crowns. It's kind of hard. The yellow is a little bit difficult to see, but I finished it. This is such a cool hat. Definitely recommend it. I didn't do the pom-pom, but it has some pretty cool decreases, which I like. And I guess my gauge was small because it fits Fiona perfect. So my daughter, and she's 3. Now she does have a lot of hair and she has kind of a big noggin, but it does fit me, but it's a little tight. More of like a beanie style than like a toboggan. Is there a difference? But I really like it. It is her hat. She calls it her hat now, so that's fine. We have a basket that I put all my kids' hats in, because I try to have like a hat project or something easy on the needles for them. Because they're both very knit-worthy. They both wear a ton of knits. Anytime that I have, as soon as I make one, they both wear them pretty much immediately. So, especially Fiona. If she sees me making her something and she realizes it's for her, when I get to like different points where, like if I'm making a sweater and before I can get like a sleeve on, she wants to try it on. And she wears it like the rest of the afternoon. So, she's such a heathen. But anyway. So this is the Jessie Maid's Little Ripple Crop. So I am making this for Fiona. I made her one last year. And it's, I wish you could see like kind of the colors. It's kind of like a dirty rainbow. It's a cotton yarn that you can kind of see a little bit better right there. And they're two, so one of our neighbor friends went to like an antique thrift store that was in town, and she saw a bunch of yarn and thought of me and bought some for me. Luckily it was actually like pretty decent yarn. I've had some people do that and it was like Red Heart. I love Red Heart. Red Heart has its place. And I have tons of it. I don't need any more of it. So I was really lucky that she found this yarn. So it looks like it may be like Kool-Aid dyed cotton. Didn't have a label or anything, and it's 3 skeins. So these 2 skeins are the closest, and you can see that they're very different. And then there's one skein that's even more different. Like it's even like grayer, like dirtier looking. So I'm hoping, I'm pretty sure this is going to be plenty of yarn to finish it. So I am to the point in the ripple crop top to where I need to separate for like front and back and do the V-neck for the front. So I'm really excited. She had one last year that she wore for Easter. I think I've told you guys my mom made us matching Easter overalls, and she wore her little top with her Easter overalls. So I was trying to be funny last year and wear overalls. But everybody loved them, so it wasn't as funny as I thought it was. But I love the pattern. I have it in adult and the child pattern. The child pattern I believe is from 0 to 8 years old. And then the adult pattern is very size inclusive as well. I've made the adult pattern once, but I have plans to make me a cotton one. I actually bought yarn when we were in the Outer Banks specifically to make one for the summer. So I have the worsted pattern and then the little ripple crop top pattern. So the little crop top ripple, I'm so sorry, the little ripple crop top by Jessie made, the pattern is fingering weight. So this yarn is definitely not fingering weight. I'm pretty sure it's like DK. So I stepped down 2 sizes and went up 2 needle sizes, I believe. I rarely ever do anything fingering. So if that's what you're looking for, probably not the right channel to come to. I love fingering weight. I think it has its purposes, but I just hardly ever use it. I would rather use like a DK weight cotton than use a fingering weight. If I'm looking for something, you know, that's airy and breathable, because I think that's the only time I would ever use a fingering. I do have fingering weight because it feels like I was doing a lot of shawls for a while, but now I'm all about sweaters. So, and I made tons of sweater or shawls. I love West knit shawls. If you guys haven't tried a West knit shawl, man, they are so fun. They are definitely like potato chippy, you know, there's so many sections in most of them where you just want to get to the next section and the next section and the next section. I highly recommend those patterns. The one that I specifically recommend is an oldie. It's Dotted Rays. That is my all-time favorite shawl pattern. I love that. I'll have to bring it out one day because I think I have 2 or 3 of them. It's so just like smooth sailing once you get started on it, and I believe it's just lots of short rows, and it's just a really nice pattern. And because of how the rays are in it, you can use scrap yarn and just do like a quick stash busting project. It's pretty awesome pattern. Highly recommend. I think I have 2. I know I have 2. I might have 3. And to me, it's an easy style to wear. I don't really know how to wear, or maybe I feel like I'm choking when I wear the ones that are like the really deep V ones. I want to try the Sophie scarf. I think it's by Petite Knit. I want to try that pattern because it's a skinny triangle, and I think it would act kind of like a scarf. So I think that would be kind of cool. So my next project, which I'm super stoked about, and I was really hoping that I could get to the part where the sleeve separation so I could really show this off, because it's on kind of small needles, small circumference needles. I have finally gotten past the 3 color at a time knitting on my Manarola by Caitlin Hunter. So I am finally done. I don't know why I put it off for so long, because it is truly just an absolutely beautiful sweater, and the yarn that I'm using is awesome. I just think I just didn't have maybe the brain power at the time. So here it is. I'm really excited. So I think I'm about 2 rows from, ooh, there we go. I think I'm about 2 rows from the sleeve separation. So I am so excited. I am thrilled with this sweater. I did want to be completely honest with you guys, because I was doing the 3 color knitting. I'm using, I'll show you the yarn in just a minute. I'm using a very toothy Shetland yarn. So I did not care about catching my floats. I didn't care at all, because I feel like my floats are going to felt anyway, especially once I block it. And with wear, I think they're going to felt on the backside. So there were some like places where I think I had like 12 stitch floats, but to me, it was just so much easier than having to figure out where to carry that one, because a lot of times there was like one yarn or one color that you picked up every 12 stitches, and it was just like one stitch every 12 stitches, and it happened several times. So instead of just trying to pick up that float or carry that float, I just decided, since I'm using such a woolly wool, that I was just not going to worry about that. I started to at first, and then I figured I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it, just for my brain, and so that way I could get the sweater done. So these are my floats. I don't think they look too bad. You can see some of the green. The green is really, like, see, there's some really long ones. But anyway, I love it. I think it's going to felt really good on the back, and I don't think it's going to cause a problem. I'm not a big jewelry wearer either, so, and I mean, it's my sweater. It's not like it's my kid's sweater where they're going to try to stick fingers in it and stuff, so no big deal. I highly recommend this pattern. I definitely believe it is more of an advanced pattern. If you like color work and you're ready to settle down and try, like, settle in a project and really devote some time to 3 color at a time knitting, highly recommend this pattern. It looks gorgeous. Her chart is super easy to follow, like always. I just highly recommend it. It's going to be a gorgeous sweater. I'm now to, like I said, the 2 color knitting. So 2 color knitting for the rest of the sweater. I actually told Kevin that today. I said, I'm finally done, and done with the 3 color knitting. He goes, oh, so the whole rest of the body is going to be like just the green, right? And I was like, no, it's all color work. I've never done like a completely, I think I have a tin can knits pattern that has lice stitch in the body of the sweater, and that's as much like color work as I've done for a full sweater color work. If that makes sense. So the yarn that I'm using is Shetland, and it's by Hairspill Designs. It's their fingering weight yarn. So see, it's a fingering weight yarn. It's probably another reason why it's taking me so long. But it's very similar to, I think, Shelter, Brooklyn Tweed Shelter, and it's very similar in that it's a woolen spun, so it's super lightweight. They sell it in 50-gram skeins, and it's 217 yards. So, and I believe, oh, it says it's woolen spun, and I just said it was, oh, I did say that right. I think it's also, I know it's spun in the US, but I think it's actually wool from the US as well, but I could be wrong. I just really like the yarn. The whole sweater is out of this brand of yarn, and I'm glad I did that because it's all like similar, and I think when I need those floats to felt, they will do that a lot easier because it's all similar yarn. So I have this much left of the blue, and it's I believe this is, no, the brown is teak, this is hemlock, the red is pansy. I don't remember what this color is, but this is all I have left, and the shop that I buy it from, Eat Sleep Knit, they were out the last time I looked. So I'm hoping that I can get by with just this much. If I can get through the next couple rows with just as much, then I'm going to do the body and the other 3 colors, because the top is pretty heavy in the blue, so I really don't want to buy any more yarn. I have enough of the other colors that I don't, because I know what's going to happen is I'm going to buy another skein of yarn, and I'm only going to need it for like 3 rows, and I don't want to do that. So I think I'm going to adjust the body of the sweater to just use the other 3 rows, because I think it's like a diamond type pattern, and I think you alternate the colors, so I think I'm just going to make it work for me so I don't have to buy any more. Once again, both projects I'm using my Chiagu interchangeables. Highly recommend this pattern. For my color work for this pattern, I'm using size 4s, so I don't really use I usually don't use these like tiny needles. I use a whole ton of, you know, worsted weight type stuff, so DK worsted weight. So it's been a really good week to knit. I'm excited. I'm hoping that by next week I can have the sweater to the ribbing. The bottom of the Manarola, I think, has I want to say it's like 4 inches of ribbing at the very bottom. It's really thick. So, it was one of the things that I really liked about the sweater is that the V-neck was such a thick ribbing, and then the bottom was such a thick piece of ribbing. So I'm excited about that. It's very tedious, but I really enjoyed doing it, and I think it made such a really nice effect. And of course, this is a shoulder right here, but of course it isn't even blocked or whatever, but I think it's going to look really, really great once it's blocked out and kind of blooms a little bit. Now this yarn does have a lot of lanolin in it, which I'm really enjoying. It's so, like, my hands have been so dry. I've been using, last week I was using the Juniper Moon yarn, and that yarn is full of lanolin, and this has been really nice to use as well because it's got a lot of lanolin in it. I noticed when I was working on Fiona's crop top that it's cotton and it doesn't have lanolin in it, and my hands are super dry. So I'm trying to kind of go back and forth between the projects. It is really nice. I didn't I guess put 2 and 2 together about how nice it is to have yarn that has lanolin in it. It kind of really does coat your hands and keeps your hands nice and I guess soft and moisturized. And I never thought knitting a sweater would do that, but it's actually really nice. So I guess there was one thing that I wanted to show you guys. Fiona picked this out. It's kind of like one of my favorite things. I thought I would show you one of my favorite things every now and then. And this is a nail polish that she picks out. Fiona is all about nail polishes. And if we go to Sephora, I don't wear a lot of makeup, but I have very kind of weird skin, thanks once again to genetics. So I have to be really careful about skincare. So I go there to purchase my skincare, and Fiona has to always pick out something that's, I guess we've trained her in that. Anytime we're somewhere, she gets something. So she picked out this nail polish, and it's O-R-L-Y, Orly. Can you see it? O-R-L-Y. There we go. And it is Turn It Up, y'all. This is the most fun nail polish. Can you see it? Oh, I hope you can see it. Here we go. It is like, it's confetti. It's so cool. I love it. I'm not a big, like, solid nail polish girl, and I paint my whole finger when I paint my nails, but I really like this. It's such a fun, when I do get my nails done, I usually wait. I'm so bad about it. You know, I'll wait like 3 weeks in between getting my nails done, and it looks like poop, so I'll take it off and put on a sparkle or something so you can't see like how bad my nails are. But I really like this one. I'm sure because Fiona also has very ritzy taste, so I'm sure it was not cheap. But I like it because it's got 2 different sizes of, oh my god. Y'all, I'm getting a new phone soon, so hopefully my videos will be better. But it has 2 different sizes. I think you can kind of tell there. 2 different sizes of like confetti pieces. So there's like little ones and big ones and different colors, and Turn It Up. I highly recommend it. It was at Ulta, not Sephora. I'm sorry, Ulta. So that's my favorite thing for the week. I did buy an Easter dress. Go and check out my Instagram, Knitting Downsized over on Instagram. I picked out a knitting dress. My Easter dress already. Of all places, I found it at Walmart. I found it from I saw it from a mile away and, zoned in on it and grabbed my size. A lot of stuff around here is still like supply chain issues. So if I find something I like, I buy it right then instead of, oh, I'll come back to it or whatever. But I'm super stoked to say that my love note goes perfectly with it. So it might be my Valentine's and Easter dress. I'm really excited. So I think I'm going to wear it because it's definitely pink. It has tons of pink in it, but it's kind of like the plaid. There's a name for the plaid. Maybe I'll wear it next week with my love note, but I've got to figure out, because my love note is out of Cascade 220, so it is pretty warm. It's a worsted weight sweater, so I'm trying to figure out a fingering weight sweater, or like maybe a linen or cotton sweater, or like a little shawl to wear over it in a different color. So I've got some options that I'm working with, and as soon as I get done with my Manarola and Fiona's, I'm going to start working on it. So I'm excited. I got lots of really cool knitting plans coming up. So thank you guys for sticking around and for hanging out today. And I hope you guys are healthy. Number one, I hope you guys are having a really fantastic 2023. And I hope February is really great for you guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy your knitting. And check us out over on Knitting Downsized on Instagram. Like and subscribe here if you like this content. And it's always like this, always crazy, always lots of projects and lots of things going on. So I hope you guys have a great weekend. Thanks for stopping by.